Hey there, Montina Portis, and I'm in the studio. And today we have a doctor in the house. Today we have Dr. Ted Bibbes, and he has a consulting practice that I am completely messing up, so I'm gonna let him actually tell us about his consulting practice. And we also have a special guest in the studio that I won't really mention, but she is a doll. So Dr. Ted, and he said just call me Ted, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. Nice to be here.
Yeah, so tell us about your consulting, because I just completely was messing it up.
Well, it's fairly simple.
Okay.
TNB, BPM Consulting. The BPM is Business Process Management.
Gotcha.
I have a background in management consulting and process improvement. And over the course of different scenarios, I've decided to launch my own consulting practice here in the Atlanta area. Prior to a stint in New Jersey recently, we moved back here to Atlanta last summer. And prior to that, though, I was with the Governor's Office of Customer Service here in Atlanta.
Nice.
As the Director of Process Improvement. Worked with state agencies, commissioners, and others to do process improvement with state government. So that, and then prior to that was traditional management consulting and operations management, working frontline supervisors. So all that experience has kind of brought me to where I am today, and kind of doing. Putting in or starting my own consulting practice on my own.
So tell us about the type of companies that you work with. And I can tell you as an entrepreneur, process and systems are like my mantra. Every day I'm like, okay, I gotta have processes, I gotta have systems in place. But tell us about, what does that mean and what type of companies do you work with?
Well, really any company.
Okay.
In my prior lives as a management consultant, we worked with a lot of manufacturing firms. I did food manufacturing, auto parts manufacturing, large companies. But mostly most consulting is done with large companies, mainly because of the cost. Small companies can't really do that. So I would like to kind of position myself in those mid to small companies. I'll work with somebody that's a one-man shop, or I'll work with a large corporation. It doesn't matter to me. And it doesn't matter the industry, because everything is a process.
Right.
Everybody has processes, whether it's in the the manufacturing floor, which is really the easiest place to see a process, how things are made, but it's also in the back office, in finance, in HR, everything as a process, meaning there's a sequential steps that are related to each other to bring a result. The first thing to know is what's your widget? What is it you're producing? Whether it's a hiring offer letter, if it's an HR thing, well then that's your widget. It's to produce that offer letter. So what does it take to do that? And once we know that, then we can go back and process map, or just kind of go through the process and understand the steps and find where the redundancies are and the inefficiencies and where we're ineffective and so forth. So if you Google BPM, Business Process Management, you're going to get a list of tech firms that want you to do something automated. Take your processes and automate them, and say, here, and this will help you, and it will to a degree. But that's got to be like the last thing you do. The first thing you do is to map your processes and fix them, and take out all the wasteful efforts that go into it. Find out where those things that don't work, or maybe work but don't work the way you want them to, happen, and fix them, and then see if automation makes sense.
Right. So as we're wrapping up, I have Dr. Ted Bibbes here in the studio talking about processes. If you want to have your business processes managed and improved, you definitely want to work to him. Now, so we're wrapping it up here. All of his information is right here on the screen for you to get in contact with him. You can access his information. And so, Dr. Ted, thank you so much for being in the studio with us today.
Thank you.